Thank you, Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have sat patiently and listened to everybody. We are aware of the comments made by leaders from Kirinyaga. We have seen videos from leaders of Kirinyaga purporting, Mr. Speaker, that members of the Senate are corruptible. Mr. Speaker, for the first time, and Mr. Speaker, I was hoping that you'd make a comment about this. I found in your office a letter, a message, whatever it was, signed by Kirinyaga leaders, seeking your direction that this House adopts a plenary. Mr. Speaker, those who do not know and those who know, these are interested parties in a dispute. When you're an interested party in a dispute, you do not choose the judge. You do not choose the forum. In legal parlance, we call it forum shopping. On that ground alone, I cannot support the insistence. I cannot support the insistence, Mr. Speaker, that you must go the Kirinyaga way. Because we will confirm two things. One, the members of this Senate, without exception, are subject to corruption. Number two, the members of this Senate are subject to influence. Number three, the people of Kirinyaga's views, and I'm surprised, Mr. Speaker, there is no format of seeking public participation when we are making motions. Who gave these members of this House a right to go and conduct public participation before the debate? How do we gauge who they spoke to and what they said? How do we know the ones who oppose what they said? Mr. Speaker, the argument...
What's your point of order?
I heard like Senator Mutula Jr., whom the people of Kirinyaga are waiting to hear what he says because they have a lot of respect for him, indeed say that there was a letter that said that senators are corrupt. Please table it.
There's a book, by the way, where there's a book I should prescribe for you. It's called Listening More and Talking Less. Listen, I said there is a video. That video was even posted on our WhatsApp group of a leader from Kirinyaga. I'm going to stand here and say, Mr. Speaker, that the issue of Kirinyaga pales in the shadow of the issues that Senator Dulo and Senator Wetangula are handling on the medical leasing. Have we accused them of corruption? The report has not been issued. Mr. Speaker.
What's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr. must, Mr. Speaker, stick to the standing orders. This House, Mr. Speaker, under Standing Order 96, if you make an allegation, you must substantiate. And Mr. Speaker, it is clear from your rulings and also from the standing orders, you cannot import social media videos, newspaper cuttings, and Mr. Speaker, come and make them as, Mr. Speaker, absolute truth here. You either substantiate or you withdraw and apologize.
Yes, Senator Mutula.
There's nothing to withdraw. Please, let's ignore Senator Murkomen for a chance. Mr. Speaker, that video, if Mr. Murkomen, who is so famous for posting all sorts of things on our platform, needs substantiation, he should go to the platform. That video is on the platform. I'm not going to substantiate anything. It's there.
What's your point of order, Senator Cheriot?
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Speaker, we're beginning to lose it. And it's really unfortunate if you allow this to happen. You're the Speaker, you preside over this House. If you allow the kind of exchanges that Senator Mutula want to push and bandy around in this House, where he responds to a member and says, even if Standing Order number 96 demands that I substantiate, I'm not going to do it, that there's no basis for anybody rising against him, you're setting a very dangerous precedent. Senator James Orengo, Mr. Speaker, raised a very important issue, which I had hoped that perhaps you'll give us a ruling on. That for every time that people, that senators rise on points of order, they will state the particular standing order in which the member who's on the floor has violated. Senator Murkomen, in compliance with that, has set a precedent. He has given new standing order number 96, which Senator Mutula Kilonzo has violated. Instead of following in the good practice that has been set, thanks to the intervention of Leader of Minority, you have allowed the Speaker who's on the floor to dismiss him so casually. Mr. Speaker, please do not allow this to pass. Make a determination on that point of order. Senator Mutula Kilonzo must either substantiate or withdraw as per our standing orders.
Senator Sakaja.
Mr. Speaker, I rarely agree with Senator Murkomen, and I rarely disagree with Senator Mutula. But today, Mr. Speaker, because of the record and the rules of this House, our standing orders are not suggestions. Our standing orders cannot be taken casually, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, standing order 94, in fact, Senator Murkomen was wrong. It's not 96, it's 94. It talks about responsibility for statement of fact, Mr. Speaker. And it says, a senator shall be responsible for the accuracy of any facts that the senator alleges to be true and may be required to substantiate any such fact instantly. Mr. Speaker, let us maintain the integrity, the credibility, and the honor of this House. If such a statement cannot be substantiated, my brother, Mutula, kindly withdraw and apologize. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Speaker, Mr. Speaker.
Other members, let us...
That same standing order says that I don't have to substantiate today. I can even do it at another session. But, Mr. Speaker, the existence of the video is something that I can produce at any time if you ask me to do so, because it's a matter of public record. And in fact, if I offer Kenyans the opportunity to send that video to me right away, they will. Mr. Speaker, allow me to proceed.
So for us to be... Okay, other members.
We can substantiate later.
Okay, for us to be consistent,
Yes.
I will give you 24 hours
Excellent.
to be able to substantiate.
Thank you, Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
To a point of order, Senator, Leader of Majority.
Speaker, and if we follow this, Speaker, all these disruptions will not be there. Any senator may raise a point of order at any time during the speech of another senator, stating that the senator raises a point of order and that the senator shall be required to indicate the standing order upon which the point of order is based. And so, Mr. Speaker, if we are going back to beginning to embrace our own rules, Mr. Speaker, then let's begin from here. It makes your work easier, Mr. Speaker, because, Mr. Speaker, if you move on, Mr. Speaker, to 96, you'll find a lot about the content of our speeches and what we cannot do. But, Mr. Speaker, let's begin from where disruptions and interruptions about everything becoming a point of order by sticking to that number 93 Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, Senator Mutula.
Thank you, Speaker. I was on my second point, and I have insisted that, and I urge members to look at the Wambora Supreme Court ruling. The Wambora Supreme Court ruling, first of all, affirmed the work that was done by Senator Murkomen then in the Wambora Committee. But more importantly, that court said that we are an appellate court. So I've urged restraint, and that's the reason, Mr. Speaker, I've said, standing here, since I have no evidence of a senator who is corrupt, Mr. Speaker, I must continue saying that Senate must continue working through its committees. I was on the floor when I was suggesting that the committee led by Senator Fatuma Dulo and the committee deputized by Senator Wetangula is dealing with a transaction worth billions and billions of shillings. Mr. Speaker, Senator Linturi, Senator Kajwang, and Senator Wamatangi were accused of very unlawful things by the owner of Ruaraka. What was the reason? Mr. Speaker, the reason was they didn't want that report to come here. We allowed that report to come here. Whatever happened to it, happened. But we defended the integrity of the senators. The Solai Dam, we were offered money. And I'm talking about a lot of money. We did not, and they were intimidated. Intimidated. Four of us either agreed to the intimidation or refused, including the senator of Nakuru. They never signed the report. We signed the report, including Senator Sakaja, and they know. We have withstood intimidation. We have withstood offers for bribes. We have withstood pressure from the powers that be, state, deeper, or whatever it is. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, allow me to proceed.
Proceed, Senator.
I'm glad that Senator Murkomen agrees with me and laughs. But it's not a laughing matter. Because he knows very well that in the case of Ruaraka, for purposes of a committee, we tabled a report. He knows what happened. He knows what happened. And I will not repeat because it's on record. Mr. Speaker, this afternoon, Kenyans are watching. They want to see whether we will shoot ourselves in the foot by attempting to pretend, Mr. Speaker, that either of the other produces a better result for purposes, and the ones who are saying plenary are saying that is equal justice. Senator Wan Sakaja, who says he doesn't disagree with me, is sitting in two committees, one of COVID. We have entrusted this good gentleman, together with Senator Kasanga, to go around the country to collect views on our behalf. Nobody has made an allegation against them. There's a gentleman seated here, Senator Yusuf Haji, who has chaired a committee for the last 8 years. Why haven't we accused him of anything? Mr. Speaker, the reason, yes.
Do you want to be informed?
By Senator Sakaja, yes.
Of course, Mutula is my brother. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to inform Senator Mutula that the committee I chair and deputized by Senator Kasanga brings a report to this House every week, including today. The issue with this committee, we are saying, Mr. Speaker, is that if it rules one or another, it will not bring a report. That is the difference. That is the only difference, Mr. Speaker.
That's the problem. That's the problem of allowing some of the people who are your brothers to give you unuseful information. Mr. Speaker, it's just unuseful information for what I was saying. You're not helping. Mr. Speaker, we want to investigate and get to the bottom of this matter. This afternoon, I have this book. This book is all the impeachment records of the Senate. Why do you think it's this big, Mr. Speaker? It's because we have sat in several committees and we have something we can look up to. The reports of plenaries, including Gachagua, including the late Gachagua and including Waititu. If you want to read, you'll find nothing here, nothing useful for the Senate. If you want to help Kirinyaga, and I'm telling you because I know, there are 4 impeachments coming. One from Western, one from Central, and some other places, Eastern, and Coast. Don't get excited because you think Kirinyaga is the magnus opus of impeachments. We are going to get much more. You will get a committee, you will get an opportunity. Lastly, let me say this. Let me finish. Allow me to finish, Mr. Speaker. Shakespeare said, though this be madness, there is a method to it. This senator has found a method to interrogate serious, intricate issues. If we walk away from such methods, which ourselves have agreed to do them, I expect all the chairpersons of committees to resign because they are both either incompetent, corrupt, and cannot deliver. Simple. Thank you. I support the committee. Thank you.
Senator